Dudes, how you doing? I think we're good. We good? We good? Yeah, we're good. Today, we have a charger. We are going to be doing 20% all the way around. And this is kind of interesting. This is an aftermarket spoiler up there. Looks like it was cut, or it looks like it not cut. Looks like it's a little short of the dots, but this is a very curved back window. So I don't think it'll be a huge problem there. It'll definitely be interesting. And then we're doing a 5% strip. So 20% all the way around, 5% strip, all in ceramic. So it's getting warmer. We are at a stifling 68 degrees today, meaning that it is basically summertime for a day or two. And let's get the camera here set up. Let's get going. So we got a fair amount of work. Charger is not going to be the easiest back window to do, but I've done so many of them that they just take a little extra time for shrinking. Defrosters are always something that we have to turn on and watch out for. Little things like that. It's basically all we have to worry about. Charged. Oh wait, good, it was plugged in.
Really important question. I seem to shrink it as much as possible, but when installing the film like on back glass, I still get side fingers pretty bad and are shrinking.
Hang on, that's gotta go to my ear. There we go, that's better. Really important question. I seem to shrink it as much as possible when installing the film, like on the back glass. I still get side fingers pretty bad, and I shrink and shrink, but I get the same result. For a back window, I'd have to see a video. I'd have to see a video or something. If the film is laying flat on the glass and you go to put it on the inside, then you might have something small pop up, but you are not going to have big fingers. So the film has to be completely laying like flat on the glass, and like there's no mystery to that. And then surprised like you're going to have big fingers on the inside. So I'd have to see like a little video example or something. So if you want to post that in the Facebook group, that would be helpful. Then I could better help you out with that. But there are people that'll say that they shrink, and then they like kind of do, and it's still wavy and stuff, and then you go to put it on the inside, it's got to lay smooth. If it's smooth on the outside, it's going to be smooth on the inside. Getting my Scat Pack tinted with GeoShield Pro Nano in a couple of weeks. You like that stuff? Yeah, we're actually doing it on this one. We're doing Pro Nano 20%. I actually have their new Carbon Plus, too. Kind of wanted to try it out, but I don't really want to just try it out on somebody's car. I want to see what it looks like first before I put it on somebody's car. Why does every Mustang or Charger think they have a fast car? Well, it's got a, they always have a ridiculous amount of horsepower. At least the Chargers do. It's a disgrace to us with actual fast cars. I don't know. They sound great. I think they're a little overbought, but they sound great. They're like elaborate. They're for show, basically. Like they're just, they're aggressive. They're ridiculous. All right. How do we deactivate? Activate. There it is. This is a 392. Yeah, I don't know what that means. $1,000 wheel horsepower CTS. Oh, I don't even want to get into this. This is so like carpine measuring contest. What tint brand do you use? I'm leaning. For me, what I always thought was super funny is like Why do you think the Corvette got so much attention when they changed the styling? It's like more people care about the looks of the car than the actual horsepower. That's just how it is. More people are superficial. Glad I caught the live stream when I'm available, and it's the same car. I'm getting 20 and 50 on the windshield. I'm excited for the stream. Yeah, we're doing 20 on all the sides and 5% strip on the windshield. No full windshield. The C8 is hideous. I love the look of the C8. I think they did a great job. You're such a nerd. I hope you do a review on the Pro Nano versus the Carbon Plus. Yeah, we're going to be doing a stream here. I intended on doing it a lot sooner, and then all of a sudden, I just got super busy. I heard you were giving dash towers with your class. Those are the towels that are made for rink. Is just had to. Oh yeah. Yeah, I just cleaned them out of dash towels. They look really good. Do you have any other? Oh, do you have any restrictions to mention other brands of film? No, not at all. Ask me about whatever. I just haven't used everything. So there's the company, like, I know a fair amount about a lot of films, but I haven't used everything, especially the latest from a lot of companies. All right, let's turn this up. Yeah, so, I mean, the class, I was going to have 8 people, and then 6 people signed up, and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I think for the first one, we're just going to have 6, and we'll see how that goes. So I limited all the classes right now to 6 people. But this one filled up. The next one has, I think, 2 to 3 people signed up already. So the rest of it's going to fill up pretty quick, I'd imagine. And then there's more people are signed up for May right now. So, yeah, this is going to be like a monthly occurrence. How much for the classes? 15. They're going to be, they are. They're 1,500, and, oh, man. Oh, the tools. We have the tools set up. So we've been cleaning up this place a little bit. I got to put some more lights. My original idea was to move this wall that way. And then instead, I think what we're going to do is 1 car here, 1 car there, and then we'll just clean up the back anyways, because moving that wall is going to be a big pain. I really have to, like, move it all the way over there for it to make sense to put a car side by side. But these are all the tool sets. 6 tool sets, 1 for each student. I posted a video in the Facebook group, but this is about, I added it up. It's about $650 in tools and everything. So bulldozer, side swipes, stainless steel blade shake, studio squeegee stuff, fusion handle with a hybrid, extra blue max, scrub it, soak shields, clay bars, glass aid rolls, like basically you name it, it's here. And then especially with the stainless steel keg, tint keg, the good sprayer, fan tip along with cone tips over there. And then these are the towels that T-Town printed, which the colors look super great on these. So, because one important thing is always teaching a safe way to do windshields and stuff. So I thought a lot about it. And it's like, we're getting all the tools, and he had the dash towels there. And it's like, screw it, let's just do dash towels in there too. So, it's gonna be fun. There's no classes in Chicago. Did Chicago Auto Pros already do theirs? You could go to carsupplieswarehouse.com and check to see if they already ran theirs or not, or if it's already full, because they had one scheduled for a little while now. I taught one of the original classes over there, their first one. I helped teach it, and then then I think it was like $2,000 for that one. They just need to go buy a 100-foot roll, learn $1,500. That's crazy. It's really not. Not for everything you get. It's investing in yourself, and you're going to be speeding up a lot. There's people that find a lot of value in taking a class, so they're definitely not a meme. They're going to be fun. But there's no classes here in Chicago, so you're going to have, are you going to do the class after May, or is that the last chance in May? So I'm most likely going to have more classes. I was just bringing up theirs because I know that they were having one pretty soon. If they didn't, maybe they did it already and I didn't realize it. But we probably are going to do more. I intend right now on doing them every month. I got to see how the first one goes, and then after that first one, then I'll probably make other ones available after that. But which one do we use? But we just got to see how the first one goes. No heat gun. So heat guns, I'm just a little bit on the fence of right now because there's so much in that. And I went to go get heat guns yesterday, and the Wagner heat guns were like $35 a heat gun. And I'm like, all right, what the hell? Looks like they're 25 still at like some other places, so I'm gonna go pick up a handful of them. And then I was also thinking heat guns, I want to see what people are more comfortable with right now, because I've got basically the Craftsman, the Porter cable, the Fusion one, and some Wagner ones. So it's kind of like I want to see what people are most comfortable with before I just go buy everybody Wagners. That's my excuse for it right now anyways. It was kind of just like shocked yesterday. We also have a torch too. So if somebody wants to play around with the torch, I mean, that's all good. I don't know if teaching them with the torch is necessarily a great idea, but hey, we've got them here. But yeah, there's definitely like a couple of extra things that I do recommend. Like that is gonna be the stuff you're seeing on that table. That's like 99% of cars. Like the scrub paddle is probably a nice thing to also carry around. I don't think I've used one in a while though. I was trying to think of some other things. There's always tools, like I have extra stuff here to like kind of play around with too. But 3 days, we're mainly going to be playing around with all the stuff that you see here on stream. When I posted that video of all the tools on Facebook, I was surprised how many people were just like, how much? I want to buy the kit. It's like, it's all for sale already. I just don't have it arranged in a add to cart button, but I don't think people realized how expensive it actually is going to be. But some of the staple things, like the Avery tool belt, I mean, I had to. I hate the other tool belts. I think some of those small differences add up to be a lot. Teach them good. So yeah, that's on Monday. I'm excited. It'll be fun. A little stressful, but also really fun. I gotta get tape. That's fair. I use the Craftsman. Yeah. Yeah, there's always those, like, somebody told me, I always recommend leaving the heat up all the way. And somebody said they liked leaving it halfway. They tried turning the heat up all the way, and they had a much harder time with it. So I'm going to just, there's the things that I think are really helpful in the way that I do it, but I'm always going to be kind of listening for what is an easier way for most people to learn. One thing that I noticed with my other classes where I like to just carry a back window in, like Frankenstein, peel the whole thing and carry it in. That's the way I learned how to do it. But I noticed the easier thing to teach was actually reverse rolling. See, I never turned down the heat on the heat gun. For me, the heat is controlled with distance. So the farther back it is, the less heat that you have. Yeah, this one's interesting right here, especially because I've got this stick-on lip here that I don't want to just try and take off and then reapply afterwards. But I have enough space here. It's just that big curve is going to butt up right against most of this. So never seen that. Should teach the S flip. I've actually never done it that way. I've seen it. As an ex-mobile tinter, did you use a generator to power? No, I used the outlets that were available wherever I went. We've been cleaning up, so some things are not where they're supposed to be right now. So while I'm busy looking around, I'll just grab where I know things are. It's an aftermarket stick-on? Yeah, for sure. There's also, I've noticed a little bit, it almost looked like it was tinted before down here, like residue, but I think it was from this, that deck lid lip. What's the S flip? So I think it's when you peel a back window and then you can kind of like pick it up and like taco it a little bit. Is that what that is? And then you can kind of like unfold it on the inside and then lift it up. Yes, I got stools. That's because of the class. I bought 5 of them. I kind of went a little, I don't know. Figuring out what stools and everything to get, it's been fun. I think we're actually going to be practicing on a regular car along with a, God, what was the other one? My Blazer. Because I went to go see what another rental car is, and whatever the students bring with that they don't mind practicing on. Because I went to go look at rental cars, and it's about $100 a day for pretty much anything in my area. And I'm like, oh, okay. Let's see, about 4 days worth of rental, pick up the night before and everything. Where's my, I know it was right here. Oh, here, these. I never have nice clean rolls anymore. I get all the junk rolls. But yeah, rentals are about $100 a day here. So that's basically like a new lease every month. So then I might as well literally just have a new lease. And for the time being, we'll just probably use the Blazer. The Blazer has some things about it that make it not as fun. Snap. Let's get this as close up here as we can. Want to make a tournament of the last day? I thought about that. U-Haul. Yeah, like box trucks or vans. No, I want actual things they'll be working on. Like a couple of front doors on the vans or like one of those trucks with like flat windows. No, we need like some actual things. So if I can do U-Haul on like a sedan, that would be good. And then they'll just charge me for miles. How many miles did you drive it? 5. What? What if you go to a junkyard and get junkyard doors? That's what some classes do. I think that's a nice way to do some of it. So you can have like freestanding doors that you can push around. Oh, I just need this to go a little bit higher. I don't even know if we're gonna leave this here. Something like that. So, what were we talking about? Let me cover up that brake light too. God, this really gets in the way, just enough to make it annoying. U-Haul. God, you guys are cheap. Yes, they have trucks, and I could do the doors from there, but the thing is, I don't want just doors. So, truck to me is like a baby thing to practice on. So, we can get the same thing out of a car, along with something that's actually hard to shrink. You should put a free window tint. Yeah, I thought about that too. The thing is, damage may happen, and I don't really want to take on that. So we'll see what happens with the first class. They did that at the Chicago class. Like, they actually had like a Model 3 in clients' cars, and it was generally fine. They did it in exchange for like an actual tint job at the end of it. But those cars were off limits for hand cutting. And that's something I really didn't like. I understood why it was, but originally it was like when I walked in, they're like, no, we're just gonna do plotters and like no hand cutting. And I'm like, no, what? Excuse me? That's like a main feature there, bud. So then they got some extra cars from like employees and stuff. And then everybody went nuts. All that stuff matters. So my goal is to make it as good of a class and this real world of a class as I can. Doing like junkyard doors on stands, I think would be a nice thing to have in addition. But I need to like have somebody weld those and go get them and stuff. So I haven't done that yet. But that would be on top of also having actual cars to work on. How can I get some tools? Tool sites. My Tint stuff. Sundistributingdirect.com and Tint Depot. That's where all those tools came from. That's where all my tools come from. See, these ones, I really should get the other tape. It'll work. It'll work, but not much. Not the best. Not the best option. So the tape rolls up in the corners a little bit, and then it hits this middle point, and then has a little bit of pressure, and starts to pop the tape out. These seals are a little tighter on the sides along with the bottom, but I don't think they're as bad as some people make them out to be. Back window really is going to be the trickier part with the shrink, but I used to get these all the time. I got a ton of these. What did you use at the end to wipe that back window? Like the squeegee? Before I get too far into it. Yeah, so these are the stools that I ended up getting. They were about 50 each. I don't like the red roller stools. I wanted something with a little better casters. These things are still kind of similar to those. I'm a fan of the green, but they seem to roll pretty decently on like a race deck too, so that's good. So if you have one of these floors, you get some wider casters, either the rollerblade casters or ones that are a little bit wider. You'll be pretty good on them. So they still work on this. I got a whole bunch of them though. One on each side, 2 more there, and then I got another one. Those are going to be for like the class and stuff too, but that's why I got them. We need 5. On the back window, yeah, we can do some better explanations on the back window when it comes time for it, sure. We'll do the doors first, and then we'll get to the back window, so remind me when we get there. Is it worth it to pay $1.9 for a 3-day course or to learn on your own cars? Start with your own cars. Not the squeegee, oh, that was a dryer sheet. That was a bounce dryer sheet. But yeah, so I understand like $1,500, $2,000, like classes for 3 days, 5 days. They're expensive. You can learn everything on your own. Or try and seek out tinters in your area and stuff and train alongside them and see what they're willing to show you, or working for a shop or something like that. Like, those are all other avenues that you can take. I always suggest before you spring for a class, definitely get film and try tinting some stuff. Because you don't even know if you really like it or not. You're just like, oh, it looks like a good money maker. It looks like it'd be fun. But is it really? You don't know until you actually get some film and get some tools and then practice. And then go from there. Because knowing what to ask when you're at a class and then actually building up some familiarity. Oh, God, I just butchered that word. With, film, right? You haven't even touched it yet. So when you first go to put a window on the inside, it's going to be awkward for you. I need my squeegee. I just got a new one. I got so many new ones. Oh, so this, I don't know what it is about this one. This one seems to grab a little bit more. Am I crazy? I don't feel like my hybrid blades did that before, but now they do. So yeah, I mean, I've been teaching online for years. I'd always recommend like you can learn everything online. What classes do is they help speed you up, and they help answer a lot of personal questions, and you have a better perspective on exactly what you need to know.
Daniel Rayner super chatted $9.99. Master
Daniel
Matt
Rayner.
Star, top of the morning, yeah.
Dan Arena with a 10, thank you, sir. Kumustapo. Doing pretty good. My wife and son are actually up in the showroom right now. She's been helping straighten this place out and everything. It's been a big help. Do you start your live streams at 10 a.m. PST? Nope, not usually. This is wanted to get this one in earlier in the day, but it wasn't happening. He had a 12 o'clock dealer appointment for like some key reprogramming. So, however soon the dealership can do that and have him on his way, and then he came straight over here, so. I start whenever I get a car in here, and people's schedules vary, so do mine. So should I pay somebody to tint my car for the first time, or should I take it, sit down and try it myself? I think there's always like a cool satisfaction with doing it yourself, but this is very much a skill that you learn over time and with a lot of trial and error. So if you pick up a kit or grab some film and some tools, you will have a lot of mistakes, and it really depends on what your end goal is and how good you are at just kind of like getting things right off the bat. Because there was one dude that brought in a set of doors on a truck, and it was the first time he ever tinted, watched some videos, and it looked amazing. It's usually not the case. And it depends on what end result you're going for. Like if you really want it to be clean, then just bring it to somebody. And paying somebody that knows what they're doing is worth that hassle. But if it's something that you want to like sit there and learn and potentially do it as like a hobby or, another way to earn money, then by all means, definitely do it yourself. I should take one of my cutting. Oh, it's got film on it. I have to like add some things here. So more extension cords, heat guns, tables to put stuff down, chairs, extra things. Like there's just been a whole bunch of stuff that I've had to add. Got to get ready for other people. So I'm putting up some extra lights too, because everywhere else is a little bit on the dim side. So I picked up these circle lights. I'm gonna put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I bought 8, so I'm gonna mainly light up this area, and then I'll see and probably add some more in there for the rest of it, but. No, it does not include housing. There's only so much that can go around in that 1,500. You gotta cover transportation and your own stay. But doing, I'm gonna provide lunches here though. Probably like coffee in the morning, maybe some snacks, and then I gotta figure out something for lunches too. Something that I've never had to do before. Like, oh boy. I just think it's a nice thing to do. And it kind of like saves on time and everything if food can just be here. Can your baby run around yet? Yeah, he's real good at running now. He still bobbles some when he goes around, but he's very stable. He was really insistent on learning. He takes some spills and he just gets right back up and he keeps going. Just nonstop all day, every day. As soon as he could sit, he never wanted to lay down. As soon as he could stand, he never wanted to sit anymore. And he's just been like that ever since. Windshield learning, shrinking takes time. If you get a U-Haul van, the cab cover transportation. Okay, we're not getting a U-Haul van. U-Haul vans, they're all dark in the back. It's like 2 front doors and a windshield. And like there's stuff there on like the windshield, and like the single cab trucks, they're just small. They take up a lot of space. And trucks are going to be like one of the most common, easier vehicles that you're going to get. So that's why I'm going for like a nice middle of the road sedan along with a Blazer. And then whatever else happens to make its way over here. But yeah, those trucks are definitely cheap. They're just, you know, if you wanted to do maybe like, they'd be great for paint correction examples and stuff like that, because you just have big panels and lots of paint to correct. Lots of abuse. But for window tinting, it's not ideal. Do we get to keep the cars after? Only if it passes. If it passes inspection, then yes, you can keep the car afterwards. No. No. You can't rent out the lobby for somebody to stay in. My God. You can rent 2 27 self-contained RVs. 2 self-contained RVs. That's actually the best cheap idea that I've heard. There's a lot of windows on an RV. That's different. And then those could be stays. We'll just leave them sitting in the parking lot overnight. There you go. And then we'll like get there at 9 a.m. and kick open the door and be like, wake up, we got to practice. You guys are amazing, amazing trolls today. The U-Haul stuff was great. How'd you deal with moving windows on a Toyota Camry? Like shifting? Or just how to do the roll downs, because those are real similar. We just did a Camry. You know what really annoyed me about the Camry, the older models, was those rear quarter windows. I had so many Camrys that I had to tint, and those dumb rear triangle pointy windows in the back drove me nuts. I hated doing those, and I had to do so many of those. Shifting, just make your pattern wider. That's the best thing that you can do to compensate for it. And then when you roll it up, like roll it down a little bit, roll it down and then roll it up, and it'll kind of like shift back into place. Turo. The thing about Turo is like Turo's like people's personal vehicles that they're renting, and getting like rental cars back and being abused is one thing. Turo getting like somebody getting their Turo car back, I don't want to really leave somebody's car soaked when they get it back necessarily. That's my only thought with it. But that was an interesting option. Rentals are like, they have so many of them, and they really just like, you know, it's not anybody's personal cars, it's rentals. It's what most classes end up doing anyways. But it's okay. I got 6 people coming. There's money to have stuff here. That's what it's for. That's one reason classes cost what they cost. If I wasn't taking that money and putting it back into the class, then there's in my opinion, a real issue there. Are you not worried about your Blazer getting damaged? It's okay. I've never been super attached to it since we got the van. I'm not as much, like, honestly, I'm not as much of, like, you know, I appreciate keeping cars nice, and I always do my best to make sure everything, you know, for a client obviously stays, like, as clean and perfect as possible because it's not mine. But as far as, like, my own goes, like, I've never really been like, oh, I need to keep my car super clean. But, like, when I first got it, it's like, yeah, sweet, it's nice, let's wash it and whatnot. Then you have it for a little while, and it's just like, I got too many other things to do. So it wasn't my first choice, but realistically, like, then you start looking at it, okay, what makes the most sense now? Well, literally getting a lease, having it as a class car, makes a lot of sense. Especially when a 3 or 4 day rental costs as much as a month on a lease, and then if I'm gonna run them regularly, I'll just lease something that'll be really good for the class, and then I also have fun driving it, so totally fine. But I have control over that bit of it. It's like, you know, if it's somebody getting a free tint job and they get their car damaged, I can be like, yeah, that's part of the class. Or if it's on my own, it's like, yeah, whatever. I had a good time at the class. At least an Audi. I don't think Audi wouldn't make the best practice car, honestly. It's too much in the difficult direction. If it was for like a more advanced class, then yeah. But an intermediate one, you'll see just getting the film on the glass and positioned right is actually kind of a lot, depending on where people are coming from. So if you've been tinting and you're like 5 hours a car, then you'll learn how to speed up. If you need to know how to shrink, well, that'll be like obviously a huge part of it, and we have the perfect vehicle for it. Installation, yeah, like you learn how to install any of those faster. Audi is just going so far in the annoying direction that it's going to be hard enough to just like get patterns on the glass sometimes. Ooh, what was that one? If you do any tint work for dealerships, reach out. We reached out and they offered me any vehicle used on the lot and didn't care about damage. Wow, that's really cool. There's one dealership that I've done some tint work for. I know like the used market is like way weird right now, but that's an interesting tip. I'll have to look into that. That's super cool. You should do classes too, if you don't already. That's a huge advantage right there. But like there's other stuff that's super nice. So like Geo is actually providing all the film. So like, you know, I'm saving money in some other ways too. So it's not all like crazy expensive, just parts of it. Like, so like I over-invested on like the tools and stuff and trying to make the experience really fun, exciting, enjoyable. And actually, like, hey, when you go home, shit, remember that car you worked on? Yeah. That's what's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna bring in basically a rental car to you and want it tinted. Let's do it. Let's do it. We did it just a few months ago. Nice. That's super cool. What plotter do you have? It's called the Workhorse. You can find it at plotterdepot.com. The employees offered their vehicles. That's cool. See, if it's coming from a place like that, it's going to be a little bit better. Retail is what scares me a little bit more. Like, because a haircut is like, okay, you might get a bad haircut, but your hair will grow back. Scratching up a car and stuff, it's permanent damage. And like, you know, for every 5 people that are like, oh, okay, you know, stuff happens, I got a free tint job, whatever, I don't really care about this car. I'm sure that would be the case with some of them. Some of my pickiest people are cheap people, though. Free people, ugh. I don't know. If they're like, you kind of know them, or they're associated with a company or something, in my opinion, it's far different. But you might always just be lucky. I just don't have a big network there. I just bought it. I would have used your link if I had one. Oh, no worries. No, I don't have a specific link. But I appreciate that a lot. Man, I'll be honest. I miss doing chargers a little bit. Like, because I did so many of these. The doors are just so, I don't know, they're real straightforward. I like getting stuff that I'm like super familiar with. You just kind of know how most of it's gonna go. That's kind of funny. Charger doors I love, back windows no. Yeah. Will you be offering a more advanced class? Possibly. The way that it's set up right now is, like, I put intermediate to beginner because that's just what I expect where most people are going to be coming from. But some type of, like, a shorter advanced class might make sense. Just depends on how much interest there is really for, like, the whole thing, because I right now I don't know. I mean, this class filled up within like a month or so, which was super cool to see. So like there's definitely interest, but like there's a couple more classes that aren't filled yet. So there's going to be more people on this spectrum and then less on the intermediate and advanced that want to come out and like take a class. But even just like coming out and signing up for the class, like it's not like I'm going to stand here all day and talk about tools and like basic shrinking techniques and stuff like that. It's like I'll recognize where people are coming from, and my goal with each and every one of them is like, hey, we need to make you faster and better, and wherever you're at, that's what we're going to focus on. Nice. That's cool. I like that. The Expel class was really fun. They had a bunch of different back windows you can try, ranging from like a Model 3. Yeah, that is super cool. I actually tried to get my hands on a Model 3. It's going to be a little bit harder than I thought, because whenever you have a Model 3, like Model 3s, you get those by hookups because they're by VIN numbers. So Tesla only sells parts to people with like active VIN numbers and stuff, and you can't just like buy spare parts, and that includes the glass. Kind of a bummer. How did you get into tinting? My dad owns an auto accessories company. Wow, that is big. And he doesn't tint, but part of the business was definitely tinting. So the window tinter at the time quit very suddenly. And he asked if I wanted to learn, and then his business partner's son was a tinter. What's up? Okay. Love you. Oh, that is definitely sticking. There's just one little miscellaneous fuzz. Not a fuzz, like a really small hair. This is really sticking though. Let's see if we can get this peeling back from somewhere. There we go. Just get it started. Are you going to stream any of the classes? Likely not much, no. I'll have some video from it, but there we go. Not likely. It depends on like how far along people are and kind of like how comfortable everybody's sitting. So this is like honestly as good of a class that you're gonna have here from like a live stream perspective. The live stream of the class would be like kind of watching how other people learn and how I maybe correct some of that stuff. And I think there'd be a lot, I think like that perspective would be really cool, but it's way too complicated to run that. So maybe for part of it, like we'll have, I don't know, I kind of want to do a shrinking competition towards the end of it. I thought this was so cool, and it really got people to speed up a little bit more. So what happened at the Chicago class was one of the, like on the last day, since everybody's been practicing shrinking and installing and stuff, we did a 50-50 split on the back window. So it was one person on this side, one person on this side, and it was brackets. Whoever could shrink their side of the back window faster went on to the next round. And it was just such a cool idea. And it really got people to move faster and then watch the other person move and kind of like then learn really quickly like, oh, I have to speed up and I can do this a little bit faster. And what was at stake was like a roll of film. Whoever won that got a free roll of film. So, like, everybody wanted to win that roll of film, so they pushed for it. It was super cool. I think it was one of the best things to get people to speed up and, like, not be afraid to make mistakes. Did the winner get a class paid for? No, not quite that much. I have a problem when I roll the window up. There's like a pinch point and it won't go away. So if you roll a window up and down, or like you roll it back up and it pinches somewhere, you're gonna have to redo the window, but the best way to fix that is, let's say I just installed the top here. I'll take a heat gun sometimes and heat up the top of the window, especially like where it pinched. So I'll see that on some cars, especially some older cars, on like the corners, it can be a problem. So then you roll it up, and then, oh, I pulled the tape. Oh, dang. What a bummer. So when I peeled it back, unfortunately, there's this little, I don't know if you can see this. There's some speckles here, more so than I'd like. So when you roll it up, you don't notice it. Most of the time you'd be okay, but if you roll it down and you're cleaning your edges and stuff, that's what that little peel back did. Saved the middle of it, but left some speckles there, more so than I thought. So, unfortunately, this is gonna be a no for me, dog. I'm sad I pulled the tape because these are kind of wet seals too. So, what a waste. Sticky though. Did I say I like chargers? What time is it? 2:40? Okay. We'll stay on pace today. I think, or we'll severely lose track of stuff. What? When I'm squeegeeing the top edge of the film keeps rolling back and creasing. Any ideas? No, I have no idea what's happening, honestly. I'd have to see what's going on. If you want to post a video in the group, that would help. Because I'm just assuming that all your edges are like pushed up to the top of the window, nothing's overlapped, and like if it's like I shrunk, like when somebody said they shrunk the whole window and they're still getting fingers popping up. It's like, well, it's not shrunk. There's no way it is, or else fingers wouldn't pop up like that. So there's something there's not adding up right there. So I'd have to see an example of it. Get a new squeegee and it keeps happening. Yeah, I don't know. When everything lays smooth on the glass and you run a squeegee over it, it's like you're just pushing out water. So, yeah, I have no idea, unfortunately. Is there... Never happened the other 3 years I've been tinting. Yeah, I have no idea. You should know best on why it's happening, so Sounds like a strange problem. Somebody called me the other day, and they said they had an easier time shrinking in the summer than the winter time. And I was like, maybe the temperature? And they're like, yeah, but I'm in LA. Or no, I'm in Las Vegas. And I was like, so what you're telling me then is it's not the temperature. They're like, yeah, not really. I don't know why, but it's just in the wintertime. Like, I have no idea, boss. I don't know what you want me to tell you, unfortunately. But he was using Lexan, so I told him maybe try something else. Do you ever get little bubbles in the tint job? I always get a few tiny ones. I just had one in this window. Little speckles. So we're redoing it. Yeah, it happens to me too. I don't know what happened, but there unfortunately was a big dust speck. Like a dust speck line or a hair, like a little floaty thing that snuck its way. It was really obnoxious. It was right here, so I peeled it out, and everything was going great, except that that top corner brought in some dirt, and then that ruined the rest of the window. Little speckles. This is the painful part about tinting. This is why not everybody does it, and it's not necessarily the easiest thing in the world to do because it gets frustrating. Lots of rinse and repeat. I'm using Geo. Yeah, I don't know. It's unfortunately not enough info there to go on. I've been like tinting for 3 years, not having a problem, and then having a random problem. I can tell you that similar types of things happen to me where I won't have a problem, and then all of a sudden I'll have like this weird problem, but it's something that I introduce and I cause. So that's always frustrating to me. Like for a while, when I'd pull the bottom liner, I'd put a little crease in here. Like I'd always have a crease in this area on the long side. And it's because I was just moving too fast, and like the way I was laying it onto the window, I was kind of folding it in a way that there would be a crease there. And I kind of, like I knew that, but it was annoying because it kept happening. And then for like a little while, I was having problems cutting my top edges, and it just like starts getting in your head. And so like you'll have that from time to time, but I don't know exactly the problem you're talking about. To my girlfriend's car. Tried to see how fast I could do it. I think that's healthy. I think that's real healthy. Always push yourself to go faster. The way I got faster, but I hated doing it, was tinting for a company that I thought was just doing way too much work. My dad's shop, it was just car after car after car every day, and they didn't give me enough time to focus on like one particular car. But you can still put out a very clean job efficiently. It's always like the little things. So that top corner there, if I had other cars to do, like at some of the other shops I was tinting for a while back, would I have left it? Probably. It's up in the top corner. Is somebody really going to notice it? Maybe one day. And at that point, are they going to do anything? I don't know, maybe. We used to have a saying, a lot of shops, good enough for who it's for. Well, here, now, I take a little bit of a different approach for it. But I book an appropriate amount of time to spend on all this. Were the shops cheap? Was that why it was so busy? Yeah, a lot of the time that was the case. You can still have a well-priced shop and be crazy busy. Season matters, customer base, and just like how you approach your sales and everything. So, yesterday was nuts. I'm super glad I didn't stream. My phone was just nonstop busy yesterday, and then today it's totally the opposite. So with the class and appointments, I've got the next 2 week booked, and most of that all happened yesterday. And then today I expected like the phone to keep on ringing, at least for like part of the day, and it's been real slow for the rest of it. But I got appointments, so I'm not really. I'm good. Did you all see my TikTok yesterday? Where I yoinked part of MKBHD's video, which I didn't mean just like yoinking it, but he had such a good explanation in this video about an iPad Air that he did. And I'm like, that is sales across the board for so many companies, obviously, but especially window tint. It was such a nice explanation. I just had to put it in a video. It's perfectly describes the 3-tier system. I liked his visuals on it. So I kind of put the window tint swing on it. I thought it was really cool. It's actually done really well. Okay, there's that. These windows are sticky. Sometimes things slide really well. This is that like GeoShield stick that kind of drives me crazy with some cars. I don't know what it is, but every once in a while I get a car where it's just like the film locks up really, really fast. And that's why we use like the soap that we do, but that doesn't mean it's all perfectly awesome on every car. It is also warmer today too, so the glass is cold, but it's warmer outside today. So it's just things are tacking up a little faster. Any idea why I get creases at this step? Well, when you put a little fold on it, it's not surprising to get like small folds, small creases. But it's all stuff that you can fix too, so don't really sweat it. If they're like super big, then you're folding it too hard and you need to just back off a little bit. So there was this, like look at the, honestly, like, so there's this phone, the Galaxy Fold, and it you know, it folds the screen open and closed, and they got a few different versions of it. But if you look at the way that they design their hinge, it kind of rolls that film so it's a little wider. It's not a hard crease line or anything. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm not putting like I'm not folding it and pressing real hard and trying to like iron it into the sides. I'm just like rolling it up. But the tighter the seal, the harder that is to keep real neat. But I'll go around and I'll heat up the little corners or the sides and push whatever air is there out. I had a BMW 7 Series for all the sides yesterday. And there was glue removal there. They had enormously wide seals on that. It was ridiculous. But still two-staged them, and they looked really good. like people that bottom load, it's like their number one thing to always mention, like, but folds, there's folds. And it's true. On cars there are, but it's like, then you just like spend a couple seconds, you touch them up at the end, and then you can't see them anymore. So like, okay, it's all good. Calm down. Yay! So I think this one went a little bit better. Is there any cars you take the door panels out of? Yes. Every once in a while, if it's just super obnoxious, then I would definitely do what I can to get the seals out of the way. I don't think there really should be any permanent hard rules. Like, just whatever's easier for you to do, and if popping the seals out is easier for you to do and you enjoy doing it, then and you make sense for your business, then keep doing it. I just get annoyed when people always try and change other people's method by saying theirs is like, this is the ultimate way to do it. No, it's just like, this is how I do it, and this works really well for me. And what works well for me might not be exactly what jives with you, so. Is there any cars you take? Oh, wait, I read that. Do you put a lot of pressure out the water? I've seen you pull out a few seals. A few, yeah. Do you put a lot of pressure when you squeegee the water? I don't know how to measure it. I put enough pressure. So you're always going to be able to press out a little bit more water. I think that might be the right way to look at it or explain it. Because, like, the goal is just to really, you want to get the majority of the water out and get all the air out. And so you really don't have to press very hard to do that. So as long as when you squeegee it, it looks relatively smooth, then you're fine. You've pressed hard enough. When you let that then sit, so if I pull this out and it sits for a little while, it's then going to start to, like the water that now looks smooth is then going to pull back together, turn into little wavy ripples and some water blisters as it dries out. But on a warm day, within a day, it's all gone. So there's always going to be water in between there. It's just a very thin layer of it that then condenses together as it dries. That's just part of it. So don't like look at a window, don't squeegee a window, tint the rest of the car, then come back to it, and then you see some like waviness and stuff to it, and then try and press all that stuff out. It's had too much time to tack up. So just let it sit. I like these stools. I wish I could change the top material, because it's like, it's this weird, I'll show you guys, it's this weird like shiny plastic that I feel like is gonna crack in like a handful of months. But it's been so long since I've had like a good roller stool. So now I've got roller stools. I'm so happy. They make all the sense in the world to have. Yeah. What's that? I'm a bottom loader. I'm very intrigued to top load, but I'm always up to learn. Yeah, there definitely isn't much I could do for you on bottom loading. If that's your preference, then like, you know, there's always shrinking back windows, cutting, and being efficient in other ways as far as the installation goes. But the thing is about bottom loading is like that's what makes tinting easy. Is like just getting everything out of your way and just dropping the tint in. That part of it makes it way easier to do. But there's definitely more to learn and stuff. The trick is always getting that stuff out of the way. And just like tinting a window like I do, removing that stuff can be just as difficult on certain cars. Definitely trade-offs. If every car was easy to pop the seals, then that's the way everybody would be tinting. There's just reasons why some people don't. Yeah, so when I'm rolling this, see how that's kind of like folded the way it is? It's not like a hard fold, it's just like turned up. That's where I try and keep it. Don't go crazy with it. Because like I could easily roll it up and like press super hard and just get the whole thing to like crease. I could just bend the whole thing, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to get it in the seal. Nice. Maybe my soap didn't run through the line entirely, and that's what was really sticking. I could also bank on that sometimes. If your water sits for too long on some cars, it'll stick a lot. So that one went pretty well. New lead. Oh, that's cool. I love me some Tint Whiz leads. There we go. See, Chargers are like, when they're just nice, new, and clean, the doors are just so solid and straightforward. They're a little rounded, but like cutting everything's just like nice and put together. I miss doing these from time to time. I got a little trick for the quarter windows that I learned from Rick. Or a trick from Rick. He taught me originally about turning on the defrosters, which has been a godsend. And then on these quarter windows, I used to sit here and I used to hand cut them a couple times because there's lots of people that leave gaps on these. So if you cut straight here and then you make a little border around here, your quarter window will often leave a gap from this direction. So when you're looking through here, you got to slide the tint over and then you got a gap here, or you leave it here, cover up all your edges, and then you get in the car, you look through the rear and you can see right through that gap. But if you hand cut these, actually just cut straight here, cut straight all along here in the bottom, and they'll be perfect every time. They won't be oversized because you got plenty of rooms to slide them in. Super helpful. So I'll be hand cutting those ones. I used to have 35 on a windshield, but I had to take it off because I had too many creases. Yeah, that's no fun. All right, where's my... Oh, there's my short roll. There's my short roll. 36 or 24? Was that 36 or 40? 36. 36 will definitely cover most cars. So like on this one, we did a 36 Let me change this blade out. We did a 36-inch roll on all the sides. I just had to pull out a 24 because I screwed up a window, so it doesn't make sense to use another 36 for that mistake. That's why it's nice to have both. Damn decimal places. About 2%. Why are you guys doing math? Oh, you guys are adding up shades. Shade math. Shade math that never quite works out exactly how you do the math. I don't know why that's the case, but I swear it is. Because I had these front doors on this Kia, on a Kia Soul, and the back metered at like 28. And I was trying to figure out what to do on the front. And we had like a 30% or a 35%. And I ended up doing like 35%, and it came like super close. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something like that, where the math made sense to do like the 30. But then I just put in what actually made sense, or what I thought. Is there a good photochromic tint using? Not really. There's ones that do exist, but the better ones, from what I understand, they don't change much. The ones that change a little bit more dramatically seem to fail really quickly, or just not be very well made. It's not much of a thing. So some companies, I think like Coolview, are trying to do it, but I've heard issues. So I would get some, put it on my car, drive around with it for 6 months, and see what happens. And then there was one that was, I guess, much better, but it only changed about 5 to 10%. So it's, you really didn't see any difference at all. What's the closest to opaque? Yeah, right? Just get a really low number. 0, 5/5, 2, 1. Black vinyl. Just whoever sells the dark films. I think Tint Depot has a 2% right now. Okay, so remember the way we cut this was exact. So this gasket actually lets you drop your film in a lot, and then this top edge lines up perfect with here, gives you an overlap, and then you can butt up right against the side. These line up perfect every time. I didn't believe it would happen until I actually cut this out. I was like, that's not gonna work. And then I did it. And sure enough, it worked. Is it Christmas time? It's always Christmas. Can you tint a window without putting it down? Yeah, but it looks like garbage. Canon. Canon. Hello, Tint Studio. How can I help you? Sure. Did you want to do the full thing with the windshield or without? Without the windshield, it starts at $290 for all the sides and the rear. With the windshield, add another 130 to that. So 290 plus 30. Yep, 420. I was just making sure. Yep. No problem. You have a good one. When somebody's first words are always price, they're not they're generally not my client. There we go. Details. Up and down, up and down. Let's see. Max Pro 1%, Scorpion 1%. Yeah, there's a few. Photochromic tints, are they a thing? No, not really. You can find them on eBay, and they like. You can find it, yeah, but it's not great. So if you're okay with that. Was that a carbon quote? No, that was just a regular. That was just like, how cheap is it? Speaking of dealership, somebody wants to get a couple doors done from a dealership. Maybe I should have them come in on Monday. Have somebody come in for front doors for the class on Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, I just start. I'm not trying to get every car. I just up pricing, inflation and time. I just spend too long. Like if I spent way less time on a car, I'd probably stay at the pricing I was at. But what I'm really trying to do is like whittle out people that are looking for tint here and now. Looking for people that care more about the job, want to schedule out a little bit farther because those are the people that I cater to the best. It's like it's not going to be done today. We'll schedule you out, and I'll put a lot more time into your car than most people will. I need another roll. Had to call around a couple places for ceramic pricing, removing old dyed tint, installing ceramic on all 4+ windshield. Most quotes were over $1,200. My guy is doing it for $500. I hope it turns out amazing. So removal will definitely add a lot to the price of a job, for sure. The thing that would always scare me is like if these places are quoting $1,200 and then there's a guy quoting $500. I mean, I'm very happy that you found it for that much cheaper. And I hope it goes great. That's the only thing is like, why is he so much cheaper? He either greatly undervalues himself or something might happen. Is $1,200 too cheap? No, like $1,200 is definitely expensive. Like you can get a removal and a retint. Like I said, removals can add a lot to the job. And was the windshield already tinted? Is that part of the removal there? I mean, and you're going for ceramic. So like what people are quoting you is literally their most expensive product across the board. So it's just like calling around, finding a lot of places that are all kind of like very similar, and then you find somebody that is like drastically lower. The guy doing it for 500 is doing it with GeoShield Pro Nano. He really does a fantastic job. He does all our local NFL players and does a ton of high-end cars too. That dude is underpricing himself by a lot. Damn. So you get a good job. That's awesome. I feel bad for him, for the tinner. Shit. So this one is Pro Nano ceramic with no windshield for $450. Damn, why do people do that sometimes? I don't know. I bought Motor Shield on Amazon, and I can't find the package. I'm so annoyed. I wanted to do like a short video on it. They actually commented in one of my videos, and they were like, ours does 99% IR. And I was like, oh, okay. Let's check this shit out. I am so down. God damn, 500. Yeah, you bring that man some donuts in the morning or whatever he likes. Oh, just these front doors, they're a little sticky. Film will do that sometimes. It'll like slide around and then it'll pick a spot and then it'll just like stick. MK Brothers? Yeah, that was the film I used for Amazon. Dude, they just toss a roll of film in like a big box and it's loose in the box. Moto Shield actually had really good packaging. Packaging that kind of makes me worry about what you're getting, but I mean, because with the Moto Shield stuff, it's like fancy printed boxes, tubes, special stickers, like all this information about it. Like, it's like, whoa, they put some serious money into their little boxes for like 2 front doors. Which means their margins are amazing. Yeah, unironically, film companies, actual film companies, are super jealous of what Blackmagic sells per square foot. Like, you can go to Walmart, you can spend $10 to $20 on a small roll of film. If you figure out what that is per square foot, and then you'll get a similar pricing. Like, you'll get how it stacks up to an actual professional roll of film. You're buying far less, and so it doesn't cost much, but per square foot, you are far overspending on film with, like, Blackmagic and stuff from, like, AutoZone and getting just utter trash film. Man, they're making a killing on that stuff. Okay, so remember when I said I can't tell a difference at all between one side and the other? This side grabs more, and I don't know what the deal is. I swear, this side grabs more now. The hybrid changed. I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna check out the other side. But, you know, I get it. Somebody is not gonna, for 2 front doors on their car, they're not gonna go spend $100 on a roll of film, right? That doesn't make sense to them. They're like, oh, that's expensive. So that's where they win. So you guys asked if I want to sell window film. What I really want to do is then sell window film in an AutoZone. Oh, can I do that? That'd be awesome. But actually have it be halfway decent stuff? Let's do that. Let's go sell film to AutoZone instead. Is 65% tint dark? No, the numbers go the other way. So the lower the number, the darker it is. 65 would be really light. I lost some customers because I upped my price, but I gained more. Funny how that works. And you'll gain different quality customers too. I wish it didn't work that way, but that's how it works. I honestly wish you could charge $100 per car and the person bringing you your car would just not give a shit. If that was the case, you can make a killing on just putting dog shit work out and tinting a lot of cars, making a lot of money. Where this really sucks is you actually have to put a lot of effort into a complete shit car. And they will be picky as all hell. And then when you charge $100 per car, you also whittle out people that go, he's only charging $100. That seems like kind of scary to me. Like, I like saving money, but at the same time, why is he so much cheaper? I think this business looks a little bit more legit, so I'm going to go with that one. It's just what happens. Yeah, the cheaper you go, the pickier you are. I learned that way too late. I didn't even understand it. I didn't understand it for a very long time. I was like, this makes no sense. But to you, it's cheap. To them, it's still expensive. You're just like, it's like whatever price points that you hit, it's like you get like a window of people. Doom, doom, doom. And some of those groups kind of overlap. But pricing is a funny thing. Oh, I think I gotta turn this car back on. Chargers, we got about a 20-minute window before the windows die or the car shuts off. GMs, you can change that. Yep, I gotta turn it back on. No! I offer $5 a month for 72 months. Hey, if you could get people to do it, that would be pretty awesome. I don't know how those programs work for shops like that. I heard about them like a long time ago, and I thought it was like a super good idea. I mean, they can get in some scary situations, but you know, the ones that are like 6 months, no interest, I thought that was a pretty cool idea. But I think it's like people either finance way more expensive stuff and like normal stuff like furniture, but like all that in between stuff, not quite as much. They'd rather just pay for it up front, and I can appreciate that. Or they'll put it on a credit card. That's where the credit cards come in handy. I think it's good to just, for your business, it doesn't hurt you to have it as an option. And, you know, it might save you once in a while. Like, I'm just kind of guessing here. I haven't tried it. But 169 watching on YouTube. Nice. 180 is normal. Should I charge 220? Or is that still too cheap? You know, I don't know. Because early on, it's about you want to keep your prices up, but also you want opportunities too. So being higher, I think, is a good thing for sure. How much higher, that I'm not sure, but I wouldn't try and worry so much about what other people are charging. So, I mean, might as well just, hey, it sounds good, start there, and then see what happens. See, people that are shopping around, like, man, they still drive me crazy. I don't try and win any sales games here. Like, yesterday was such a breath of fresh air compared to some people that just call, just like the phone call you guys heard earlier, that is just quick for pricing, like, hey, how much do you charge? Like, whenever somebody is just like, hey, how much do you charge for this? It's like immediately a big red flag for me, because they've already called around probably to a couple of places. And maybe they can't get in as soon as they want. Maybe the pricing was more expensive than they thought, so then they whittle their way around, and then they come across me. That's generally what that phone call is. My favorite ones are like, hey, so I had a friend that gave me your number, referred me over to you. I'm looking to schedule my car. It's like they already know the drill, basically, at this point. Their buddy just was like, yeah, this place, they did good work. This is what they charged me. Super great. Very happy with it. Like, that's where the referral comes in. Then there's no debating and overselling or whatever. It's basically just like, oh, yeah, he got this. I want to get the same thing. I think it looks great, and let's do it. Sales with your people are always, they're generally like so quick and straightforward. There's no back and forth. It's just kind of, this is what it is. Let's do it. When people call me and they're like, hey, called a couple other places, it's like, I'm not set up to win your business. And I don't really want to be. Because if I'm more expensive, then they think, like, well, if it's going to be more expensive, at least I can get in sooner. Actually, we're booked out farther. Oh, never mind. How much PSI in your tank? Right now we're shooting 100. For a while, I just got annoyed with standing there and letting it fill up, because this air compressor isn't very fast. So anywhere from, like, I think 60 on up is perfectly fine. But we have like 100 and creates a little bit of a finer mist. So, but you wear through water in your tank, the air separates a little bit. Oh shit, did I throw all that stuff out? Where's my other piece? Oh, here it is. Tint Depot or Flex? Definitely a Tint Depot over that. I hate people that think their buddy sent them and they think they're getting a discount. You know, I used to argue with sales guys, and like, I was just a tinner in the back. And sales guys that have been in the business for years would love to argue. They know everything, and that's fine. They've been doing that for a long time. And then what was funny was they eventually got sick and were off work for like a week or something. So then we hired in somebody that literally knew nothing and then just followed some type of a script. And their sales just far exceeded the guy that had been doing auto sales for like 25 years. He'd come back and like, oh, well, he's going to go to the other shop and I don't want to lose the business, so I price matched it. Was he really going to go to another shop? Why is he calling you if the other guy is cheaper? Like, that's such shit. You guys will get those calls all the time. Tell them to go. You don't want those people. Unless you do. Unless, like, it's just, that's your business and that's fine. Then you enjoy it. But if build quality clients over time, when you get somebody that's like, hey, the guy down the road will do it for this price, will you match it? No, fucking go to him then. Go to that guy. Why are you here? Well, you know, I like your shop better. I wanted to give you guys a chance. Well, thank you. Then if you want me to keep a business, then this is the price. Got bills to pay too, bud. How does one get GeoShield film without being a business? Yeah, you go to their site and then you buy it. Yeah, I tell them too. I don't hear it super often, but when I do now, it's like, oh, I got one. Yeah, go to that guy. He'll save you some money. Do it. Yeah, so they have like, you make a dealer login, and then you can order it. They don't have much of a wall. They sell good film, and they don't really have much of a wall to getting it. So they root for small shops and stuff. That's kind of like where their sweet spot is, honestly. Or at least has been for like a little while. But man, they are growing real fast right now. All right, all the sides, we're done. We're done, son. So now all we got is the fun back window, and we got a windshield strip to do. So we might as well do the back window now and just keep things going like we normally do in order. This back window is going to be fun. I really wish it didn't have that spoiler lip there, but one way or another we'll get it. Any talk of a Geo software? We talked about it for a little bit. He had a really cool idea, but it's just bringing that idea to reality, and I think there's definitely some technical problems to solve that would cost a fair amount of money to do. So, not anytime soon. Oh, wow, it actually did freeze. Hang on. Black. Ta-da! Fixed. It didn't Hollyland. All right, let's see if we can butt this up to the edge. Probably didn't even need to put glass 8 up there. So, I'm actually really glad this has a brake light, because then I can just pinch this in here and not really care. Ta-da! Nice. We're probably gonna, I don't know, we might drag it back down like a centimeter. So all I did here was I butt the film up against, like I rolled it and kind of butted it up against the spoiler. And then I pulled it back, cut a relief point, and then just kind of roll the film up here, and then just cut right along that spoiler line, and boom. What's a centimeter? But you don't want it bunching right up against it, so I'm probably gonna pull this back just a smidge. What's a smidge? Pull it back a teaspoon. Come on. What? Where's it grabbing? Why is it grabbing there? That makes no sense. Yeah, I know. I heard it like 3 times. I just didn't reply. Yeah, I'll explain the fingers. It's got a real simple explanation. And we do it on every stream. I try to explain it as best I can. No, it's fine. I just thought it was funny. It just kept repeating. So I was saying something else and I heard it. It's just off center. Just a kilter. Just off kilter. I think that's good. All right, so this is a charger. I think one of the best shrinking videos that we have on the channel is actually a blue charger. I'm pretty sure it's on the My Tint Stuff site as well. Like, it's just the banner. I think that's the video that it is. I think it's actually a blue charger. Oh, that's a healthy sound. If your blade starts making that sound, maybe it's a little dull. Do you know if there's any tinting places in Iowa? I don't know of anybody I can refer you to, but I'm sure they are there, or else you have a whole kingdom to yourself. Okay. H patterns. Yeah, I was just going to be a smartass and say Google Maps, but, you know. No, I don't have anywhere I could refer you, unfortunately. Yeah, it is. It is a charger. A blue one, right? So let's relive that one. So, if you want to shrink a back window without getting fingers on the side, there's a couple ways to do this. Without the dumb spoiler. All right, so we'll do things 2 ways. We'll do a wet line on one side, and I guess we'll just leave it normal on the other, and you can see a little comparison here. So this one, I don't know how well you can see. There's like something in between the film, like it's not completely smooth. So if I want to get the film to stick a little bit better, wet your hand, run your hand along the glass, and then you just have a wet line, and the water will help it to tack down a lot more, and then you can also tack it down nice on the sides too. And see how that film's not going out sideways? But there's more to it than that, because sometimes you want a little film to shoot out the sides, but not in like a finger form. So you get all your film organized here. Tack it down on the sides. Just do like a little bit on the side. And this is where it starts to change a little bit. Somebody called this like the half moon, where they don't necessarily go down the full length. They'll just kind of like tack a little here, tack a little here. See, like a half moon. And then leave the rest of this loose, and I can appreciate that. Because what happens is when you start shrinking this beginning here, it starts to like, you can push a little bit of material out on the side. So this line will start to change a little bit. Like what was tacked down firm here, you can now pick it up, let it float, and then kind of like smooth it out again. And some material will kind of like shift out on the sides. But chargers, you're gonna basically pull shrink. Pull shrinking, all I'm doing is lifting the film. I thought I was actually like pulling it hard or something really. No, all you're doing is lifting the film and getting the surface of that film to lay as flat as you can, so when you put some heat on it, it's now even, instead of shrinking the peaks and not as much in the valleys. So if you just let those fingers sit there, the tops of those fingers are then going to take more heat, and the parts that are touching the glass are going to stay colder, so it's going to shrink a little funny. We want it to shrink nice and smooth. So we'll do the top after. So if we go to the other side, remember we didn't do a wet line. And this depends on the tackiness of your dryer sheets, dry shrink prep, whatever you're using. Boom. We can tack this down a little bit, but that causes the film to bunch up a lot here, right? Like this is all the film that I need to shrink, but this to me is very bunched up. I want it to lay smooth. So start at the top, because obviously it's the easiest part to start. Just start shrinking it, and then sometimes it'll start to balloon itself a little bit. Swoop it out a little sideways, and then you get to that point where, depending on how the film looks, these parts are what is going to be really critical to shrink right. Because this is all easy, this laid down real smooth. Then we get into some of these more defined fingers here. So pick this film up, get it to lay kind of flat, and then you don't even necessarily see a lot of what's going on until you kind of like let go, and then you take a look. And now I don't have these big fingers anymore. It's all kind of like smoothed out. Cart it down to like the next point that it all starts to bunch up, and then you can do it again. On a charger, it gets really close to that deck lid though, and I cut it off kind of short. So as long as the film kind of looks nice and even, you don't have to pull shrink it. So that's the bottom. Maybe we'll get a good perspective of the top. So we smooth this part down. Again, that takes away all of this area to shrink and bunched it over here. I still want to move some of it over here, but we'll start to work it out this way once we take care of some of this. See, sometimes you can get a really good picture. So you see this little point here? As I shrink all this up here, then it starts to like almost form this, like, there's a swoop here, but what that's telling me is this finger now wants to go here. And now it's straight. But this film that I tacked down on the side can all be part of that. So that's why I'll lift up the sides a little bit and shrink out the sides, but it's really just pushing some material, smoothing it out, and sweeping this out sideways. Now the stuff here is not quite as lifted. So I could shrink in the middle and then come over and do this, or I could just do this and then come back over. You can do it either way. It's nice and rubbery. There we go. I call it what? The devil horns. Oh, I forget. This is ceramic, by the way. They have a good shrinking ceramic. So this basically looks almost identical to like Pro Classic. This is a 2 mil ceramic and it's still laying down really, really nicely. So I would see how these are a little bit more up, down, up, down, up, down. I'm kind of dancing around with the heat a little bit to try and get this to balloon up and smooth out a little bit more. Otherwise, if the spoiler wasn't here, I would grab it, I'd pull it straight, and then, but I can't do that with this in the way. So I really am shrinking the parts that are a little bit higher, I guess, and just trying to get it to smooth out as best as I can without focusing the heat too much in any one particular spot that's going to cause it to bunch together. And so really, that spoiler wasn't all that bad. Kind of annoying because it's in the way, but it was in the way and probably, like, it just came short of the dots across the board. If this spoiler came like halfway in the dots, then best I can say is, I mean, when you put it on the inside, would you really notice if it was short? Probably not, but you still want it to cover all the glass. So we'd probably cut, shrink, shift the whole thing down, and then shrink the top, and then you'd be okay. Be a little bit more annoying to do something like that, but it would work. It has to work. What's the difference between ceramic IR and nano ceramic? The difference is going to be really the name and marketing. Ceramic and nano ceramic, like it's all, that's what it is. It's just people will call it different things to try and stand out or sound different or something. With carbon, it's actually really straightforward. They burn off acetylene gas, they take that soot, and then they slap it in the film. And the finer that they can get that soot, that carbon, the clearer your film is, along with the grade of the polyester that they're embedding it in, and their process for doing it. So same thing with like ceramic, is they take ceramic material and then they embed it in the film in whatever kind of magical way that they do it and make it look all clear and stuff. So the more refined that process is and the finer and more nano size those particles are, the clearer the film's going to be. I mean, it kind of sounds funny to literally burn gas just to get the carbon to then put in window film, but that's what it is. I want to reshrink that area just a little bit. Oh, I need that stool. I'm short. Seeing over that brake light is a little bit of a challenge. This one, it's high up. I want a straight down view as best as I can. Need a little stool here. Standing on like the rear door sill, it's just awkward. Don't you love when people want you to tint those brake lights? Yeah, they don't really ask on these ones. And I don't know if I think it's kind of a toss-up for most people, honestly. So I'll try and tint behind every third brake light. The only ones that I really just leave as is if they have really nice ceramic borders that make the cut look perfect and clean. And on top of it, they're kind of a pain in the ass to then tint behind, right? So on like a 300 or some older Fusion or a lot of other, like the Lexus that we did the other day, that didn't have any special glass matrix pattern around the brake light, it looks really kind of crappy to cut it out. But I mean, you can still do it with a clean cut. But when it's kind of a part of the glass being a border, makes a lot more sense. And it kind of looks dumb. I get the point. Like if you tint over that area, you'll see the white line from the brake light here and the white line from here. So you kind of like, you'll know where the brake light is. It'll just be dark there. It's not going to make it all look perfectly even or anything. It's like Detroit Tint Studio, it's Lexus every day. Yeah, you know, every day when we tint the Lexus, there's some of those that I do not want to tint. Is what still poopy to do? I have a new STI sedan coming in. Ooh, I actually don't know that one. I don't get many Subarus. Did you cut out a brake? Yeah, I did cut out a brake light recently. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was actually a nice brake light cut out for it. It lined up perfectly. That was cool. Some states, so here, especially, I just cover up as many as I can because our laws are different from some other states. Window tint here is kind of like an all or nothing thing. But in other states, they're a little more strict about what you can have on the rear and what you can have on the front. So I can go total blackout vinyl over the back windows, and he's not going to get in trouble for it. And then top 4 inches on the front doors. It's a federal law. All third brake lights have to be cut out. Yeah. Yeah, it is. But then it kind of whittles down to like what the state then wants to enforce. State and federal are always weirdly separate that way. State will enforce some stuff, like that's where like state powers have, they just kind of decide what they want to do then and whether or not they want to enforce it. All right, we gotta do this. Can I take a break? Cannon. Oh, that was nice. Customer from yesterday sent me a message. Very nice message. He was like, I really appreciate the work you did yesterday. What if I become successful business while using Blackmagic film only? Oh, you definitely could. Nobody, like, how many people that you check in honestly ask what film that you use? Most people don't. Most people don't know what you're going to install until they're like standing there and they're just like, I don't know, he's a professional, he's doing the work. Ooh, state laws. Aren't state laws so fun? That's why I install for $250 per door. Yeah, you can install whatever you want, and I bet you can be really successful. Sure. It's brown and hazy. There is this little thing right here. I think it's from the strip. It's just like a little dark rubber spot on the glass. I'm glad the defroster line stopped short. But it was really weird. I almost thought it was like a glue line or something. Yeah, like, so you want to carry, obviously, a film that you feel confident in and can stand behind. But most people, so they'll ask about brand names. I mean, like, you guys will ask about brands and what the film is like to work with, what it's like to shrink. As far as a customer is concerned, some of them will have heard of 3M, Expel, Lumar. Like, at this point, they'll have heard of them. And sometimes they'll specifically shop around for them. It's very few on the broad spectrum of what you're going to tint. Most people are coming to you because you're a shop, and they just kind of figure you know what you're doing, and whatever film you're installing, they don't know enough about film, so it's probably good. It's like, I don't know, if an HVAC guy came to install a furnace, do I have a preference? No, I don't know anything about them. But I'm assuming that he knows which ones are good and which ones are not so good. So that's part of like the expertise I'm paying for, unless I really want to look it into myself and then I have a personal preference. All right, Chargers, Challengers, Mustangs, and 300s. I always turn on the rear defrosters, let them get hot, and it'll prevent a lot of issues on my end. These are very thick defrosters, they're annoying, and you'll squeegee everything out, you'll think everything's good, and then for whatever reason they just pop up. This one's loud. Some people sand them. Yep, some people do. I think you can get like a super clean result from it. I've never done it, but I've seen pictures that look good. How do you deal with influencers calling you asking for free tint? I have yet to get a single phone call from somebody asking for free tint, so it's not a problem. And to be honest, it's a handshake deal. If somebody has a good sized following and we can do like a fun collab, then let's have fun. But if it's like, hey, I'm gonna do an IG post for you, no, I'm okay. This is sadly just something I forgot about. It's a little close. It's a little close to that line. So I just want it to be down a little bit more so I can peel this and not have it brushed against the top. Which it's all dots anyway, so I suppose it doesn't really matter. That might have been a really bad idea, actually. Oh wait, no. Okay, cool. There we go. Yay! Ugh. Okay. Let's get this on. Pizza time. You know, on a Charger, I'm really glad that they have, you know, when I do a third brake light cutout, I'm really glad because my arms aren't super long. So like, then my neck goes right here. And then the film just falls down your shoulders. Because this is a pretty tall back window. It's not crazy, but it's a good size. Keep this film on the glass. So these defrosters are warm. We want to try and keep this moving along as quick as we can to just get it in place. Because on a hot summer day in a hot garage, turning on the defrosters is not a fun thing, but it will save your butt. This lip though, that's kind of interesting. This is like one of those Challenger lips. I don't know if I've ever had one that came up that high. It's been a while since I've done a Charger. For Chargers, why do you turn on the defrosters? See all these bubbles? On Chargers, they have thicker defroster lines. And so what happens is you squeegee out all the water and then air feeds back down the defroster tunnel. And then it'll swell back up with air. And for whatever reason, it's just an utter pain to try and get any of those things to lay down. So when you turn on the defroster lines, the film sticks better. And I don't know if it like has something to do with making the glass expand a little bit, but for whatever reason, it just, everything works out. Everything works out way better. Chargers, Challengers, Mustang, and 300s. Like the newest body, like it's been Mustangs for a while, but Chargers, Challengers, 300s, those are all Chrysler. And then for whatever reason, Mustangs decided to do the exact same thing. So part of it depends on your film. and part of it just depends on how well you clean it. And you still might have one or two that pop up, but a defroster, a hot defroster is a good defroster. Oh no, okay, Canon. Good timing, huh? Take some deep breaths. That car. $200s? $200s are fine. $300s? You'll see, when you see one, just look at the defrosters. Look at a normal car and then look at those. They get way hotter and they're just way thicker. I don't know why it is. It just is. Does the GoPro get annoying? Never. Summertime, it gets warm. Where it gets really annoying is when things don't go very smooth. And jumping back in and out of a car is really annoying. Thin defroster lines, then you don't need to turn on the defrosters. They're real straightforward. So this all looks, I think, pretty good. I hate this extra time to get this camera set back up. That was not a fun time for that to happen. Because if you have an air pocket locked just above the defroster lines, you want to find that as quick as you can. Oh, here's one. What about no defroster lines? You show me a car that has no defroster lines that isn't a truck. They exist, but they're super rare. Yes, I always turn on the defrosters for windshields too. Everybody will go back through the footage. He does? Wait, what? Oh shit. So I got a couple little air pockets there. No, 200's fine. You're good on that. You've seen a car with a wood tint? Yeah, I saw that post. Reposted like 100 times. And then the good joke was, it was tree percent. Plywood back window, tree percent. There you go. Ha, gotcha. It's that good old tinter jokes right there. It's a little choppy. Is it? Oh, frames are dipping a little bit. Yeah. I think it's stable now. Yeah, you know, if you work on cars, this is just like commonplace, I think. Like, the people that'll watch from time to time and they would talk, they'd be like, oh, you gotta vent that. It's like, bro, have you ever worked around cars? No. No, you haven't. Shops, they leave this shit going all day. Vented? No. Plus, Plus, don't the cat systems on it like literally make it impossible for you to die off of just the fumes? Or is that a meme? Because it hasn't happened yet, so... I mean, I know it's not a healthy thing to do. But if you were in a locked garage and the car was running... Yes, you will die. I don't know, it hasn't happened yet. So you gotta do it for a dumb amount of time and probably be real dumb about not recognizing that you're starting to get lightheaded. There'll be signs. Yeah. We can try it today. So you know how I said there would be possibly a couple? So I got one little one right there. And really, the only way to take care of it is to heat up the defroster lines, press it out. Sometimes you have to cut a little relief line on that defroster line. But when this happens in the middle of your back window, like it'll be like here, 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 like in like 20 different spots you have to do that. And you'll sit there and try and iron out those little spots. It'll be a total nightmare at that point. Wasting gas. Yeah, you know, with gas prices now, that's everybody's concern, so. A couple weeks ago, nobody cared. Now it's like, well, you know, I want to save some gas. Oh yeah, it's absurd now. I'm not making light of that, but it is just like how conscious we would be right now versus before. $2? Ah, whatever. $6? Whoa, okay. Hang on. There we go. That's nice. So I'm gonna let these defrosters kind of chill out for a while and just keep an eye on it to like see this ballooned up a little bit. The best thing I can do for this is warm them up, let them dry, and then press it out after it's had a little time to sit. Because there's definitely something with like when it's freshly tinted and it's freshly drying, there's a lot of like moisture and steam in the air. So sometimes you'll try and press a little finger out for like an hour and it won't lay down. And then if you just like walk away and leave it for a while, come back, heat it up, you'll have an easier time. You guys. Yes, we wasted all his glass. We need to try the sanding method. I would definitely sand a rear defroster just to try it out, but I don't think it would be on a customer's car, like that whole tape thing. It's like, it just depends on what it's on. So, you know that, like, some things just give you a weird feeling? That's one of those things, like, you know, spraying water on door panels without them being covered. People that don't know the process are kind of like, ooh, is that safe? Taking a torch to a back window. There's this initial shock factor, right? It's like, oh, what? What about the paint? What about this? What about that? And it's like, no, it's totally fine. But there's this initial shock about it. So sandpaper to glass, I think I'm okay. I have one teeny little air pocket being a little stubborn because the defroster line is kind of dry. But everywhere else, hey, there you go. Thanks for the sign triage and the extra one to use. That's what I do. You're very welcome. Why, if you've never seen a Tesla at a gas station? There we go. Much better. 2000 grit sandpaper is pretty gentle and supposedly saves the aftermath. Yeah, I can imagine. And like, you'll take really fine sandpaper and like fix your paint with it, and like that's how you can smooth things out. But it's like the idea of sandpaper on glass is very gritty. So while the end result is probably beautiful, getting there might be a little bit cringy. So it's just one of those, I don't feel great about it. We haven't needed to do it. Maybe in the future we'll end up doing it. Today, nah. Turning on the defroster, spending a little time in this back window. Like, I mean, I got this thing to heat out, and I've had a couple other little things. But how long has this really taken me? Not forever. It would have been faster to sandpaper it for sure while we were prepping it. It's required to have a felt squeegee to... Is it required? Well, when you go to my class, it's definitely required. But you'll get one. You can use a glove, you can use a hard card. Whatever works for you. What I would say is if you don't already have something that you're comfortable with using, then you might want to check them out. You might want to check them out. Like, do I need a heat gun for shrinking a back window? Or can I use this? You could use a torch. But if you've never used anything, you might want to check out this way. This looks good. So now all we have is a strip to put on here. Yeah, it's easier with the Tint Studio felt card. Do you have anybody coming to your class that has no experience? I don't actually have no idea where people are coming from across the board. So I'm assuming, yeah. I know for sure one person, they literally picked up film like 2 days ago. So, yeah, pretty new. No! Ugh. I did a foot-long windshield strip yesterday. Wow, that is just way too long, but oh well. I did a foot-long strip yesterday. Somebody put a tape line, and they're like, can I get it right here? And he dropped off his truck. He wanted the 2 front doors and a windshield strip. And he's just like, told me in advance. He's like, I want like a real big one though, if that's okay. I said, yeah, put a tape line there. And I saw it. I was like, whoa. All right. See, the thing is, if it uses more than the 12-inch roll or the 10-inch roll that you get, yeah, I would too. The funny thing lately has been all my windshield strips have been from a long roll lately because I haven't done a windshield strip in a while, and then all of a sudden everybody's asking for windshield strips, and for whatever reason, I was completely out of 5. So I'm sitting here going, well, I have plenty of film on the glass already. We might as well just make it happen. I hate strips. I do too, and like my only reason is like, it's just an extra thing I have to do on a full car that's not a windshield. Are you gonna get the new Mac Studio? No, but it's pretty ridiculous. Oh, that's dry. Oh my God, come on. You bitch. What's this side? Is this side just long enough? Oh, okay, it is. All right, I'm gonna straighten out this side. Saving windshield strips off of other jobs. Like I saved the other pieces, but look at that one. It was just I just cut it a little short. And look at this janky cut here. It takes longer than what it's worth. Yeah. I charge $50. I could probably charge more for them, and just I don't even know if people would really go for it. But again, I don't really want to do them all that much. I don't know. It's just like, yeah, to me, a car is done when you're all done the sides and the back, or with the full windshield. Windshield strips, I constantly forgot. So I would tint for a shop. I charge 100 and hate it. I charge 80. Oh, okay. I guess I should up my price then on it. Windshield strips were always like a $50 add-on. I charge 100 and still hate it. Canon. Wow, it's just being stubborn today. Hello, Tint Studio, how can I help you? Uh-huh. Probably got about another 10 minutes or so. It's almost done. I'm doing the windshield strip right now. So actually probably about 15. I actually don't. It'd be better to pay when you get here. I've got a card reader here. I'm honestly not sure how to do it over the phone. Okay. I'll see you in a little bit then. Bye. Stream dipping. Super annoying. Yeah, my stream's doing this right now. Yeah, that was the client. He was wondering if he can prepay for it. over the phone, but he's coming to get it. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Are you going to have classes next year? I don't know if I'm going to have classes in June, let alone next year, but probably. I just don't know for sure. So I opened up spots for 3 classes. One of them is full. The way I see it is, let's just take care of this one first. And then based on how that goes, maybe I hate it, I don't know, but other people are signed up for the rest of it, so. It's probably gonna be fun, and there'll probably be more, but I'll just kind of open them up periodically. I won't go that far out, though. That's too much. Are you using a triage for Squeegee? Yeah, for like 2 seconds. Because I went to go grab my other Squeegee and it wasn't there, so hey. Bing, 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 bing. There. Why do you only use a green triad for squeegeeing? Because it's the best. I need to start because me about 4,000 to get out there. Ouch. That's no fun. That's why we come to you for free. So that's pretty cool. Not like actually drive out there, but you know, the live stream's there, so. I don't know. People are going to get here for the class. And like the tools are all cool and everything. But then they're going to be like, oh, this is like what I saw in the stream already. And I'll be like, yeah. Nah, it'll be fun. But I'm sure there'll be a little bit of that, right? Like, yeah, this is what happens. It's not all that magical. I would like to rent out the other side of your shop. Actually, no, I'm not going to say that. You know, if there were fresh waffles every morning, that would be pretty awesome. Because then, like, inevitably, it'll be like, this doesn't make any sense. But then I'll come in one day and be sad because there's no fresh waffles, right? And be like, oh. You're not really going to get a lot of walk-in business, though. I was shocked. There was somebody that walked in here, like, Saturday. I think that was the first time I've ever had somebody... No, it was, like, one of the first times somebody's ever just walked in looking to schedule an appointment. Like, that doesn't happen. People don't walk in here. The only people that walk in here are customers. Yeah, that can't go poorly. No, I gotta go get my hybrid squeegee somewhere, but I forgot where I set it. So this will work great. But It would be so weird, but also kind of funny, because like it'd be super, especially in the beginning. People be like, "Who is that guy that's just like on a foldy chair?" Oh, that's the waffle guy. He just makes waffles and watches. He'll never say a word, just watch. Yeah, it's not creepy at all. You know, that hasn't happened in a long time, where somebody's like walked around a car and then pointed at something. That's ridiculous. Oh, that was so annoying. That would happen from time to time, tinting in front of people. That doesn't hardly ever happen, but like, you know, I don't mind if I'm like not streaming and then somebody hangs back here for a while and like talks. It's like, it's fine. They sometimes stand in like really bad spots though. It's like, I gotta get to that window, and then they'll like step back like a foot, and it's like, no, like I need space to like work. And then they're like kind of close to the car. No, you can't come watch live. That's what the classes are gonna be for. It's not that simple. Cool. Yeah, it's definitely not that simple. Because it'd be weird. It'd be weird having like 2 or 3 people that I'm not really talking to kind of stand back and watching. It would just be super weird. $10? What the fuck? For the price of a McDonald's meal. No, so I've had like a couple people stop by, and like if I'm working on something and I have somebody stop by and like they're a fellow tinner or something, then it's like it's all good. The problem is the streaming part. I have to pay attention to you guys and talk to you guys. If, like somebody else is here, then it's like it's kind of like this back and forth thing that doesn't work so well. If it was like bringing Rick over here, that would be a little bit different. Because like people kind of know who Rick is, but still not exactly. Matt's too big for us now. That's what it is. Wow, I should have pushed this out sooner. What the fuck? That's what it is. Matt's just too big for us. Oh god, what the fuck happened here? This was just like a stupid finger, and now it's a problem that doesn't want to lay down. Oh, this isn't even really all that warm. There we go. No, it actually wasn't all that warm. So I thought it was like hot, but it wasn't. You have the water that's kind of collecting on the defroster lines. You turned the car off too soon. There's no defrosters. It's the antenna up here, so there's no heat up here anyways. See, there we go. It just needs to dry out. The water from the dots holds, or all that water that collects up in the dots needs a little time to dry out, so it's fine. I just thought it was hotter and it wasn't. Cool, looks good. We got a couple little things on the sides. One day I'll stop by and I'll bring waffles. Sounds good. No, it's fun to, like, so there was another shop out towards Livonia that called ahead, and then they stopped by, and there were like three other people from like the shop that came out with them. It's fun to talk to other tinters and other shops. Like, it's just a lot in common. Talk business and how we do different things and what's going on in the world. There's just never any room to do it on a stream. I mean this in the nicest way possible. But some of my worst streams were talking to other people on stream. It saddens me, but that's the case. Well, do you know how to know if I'm streaming or not? You just look at the channel. It's amazing. If I'm live on the channel, then I'm streaming. If I'm not, then I'm not streaming. Sometimes, if you stop by, I'm not even here. I might have this place marked as open, and I'm not even here, because if I don't have any appointments, why be here? Wow. Oh, this headset's falling off. Okay. Wrapping up here. I'd say things look pretty awesome. You should stream shop cleanup day. Well, that would be yesterday and today. You know, I like to just actually do some stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love streaming, but sometimes I just need to get some stuff done. Have you heard of DigiCut? Yes, I have. Guys selling the workhorse for $1,200. Is it worth it? Yeah, if you want a deal on a workhorse. I mean, it'll get the job done, and it's a budget plotter. You'll have a hard time finding like a good plotter for around that price. Usually a fair quality secondhand plotter is going to be upwards of like $2,000 or something a little bit better. Unless you can kind of come around, like post in the group and ask, or, which can also be a little tricky, like classifieds are always a little tricky. Is it worth it? Well, I have a video about it. I mean, I think it's got some quirks, but it'll get the job done. And if you can learn to deal with those, then yeah, it'll be a great plotter for your business. Cool. Yay. Chargers are always a lot of touch-up at the end. You're not allowed to have a life if you don't stream everything. And there's, like, even cleaning up this shop, it's like, I don't know where to put stuff. So then it becomes really taxing. I'm trying to talk, I'm trying to figure some stuff out. With window tinting, a lot of it's so just, you don't even think about it, you just do it. After you've been tinting for so long, it's just you walk through all the steps. And then when I have actual problems and can't remember where I put something, that's when I'm like, oh wait, what? And then I lose that momentum. So I was trying to figure out where to set up the class and where to put tables, and what other stuff that I need, and I just need to be able to think. I didn't even think that's the best place for it, but that's where everything is right now. Look at all those sets. Looks so pretty. Why are you so slow? And you know what? People really want to see the thing that you do best. And that's the tinting. They're here for the tinting. Doing other stuff on stream, I mean, it's fun to do here and there, but it's not the biggest interest. Woo! Look at this. Look at this charger. Big old window. Nice. All right, let's get this stuff out quick. I love the random streams. I know you do, and I appreciate ya. And I wish there was more flexibility, but it's really clear, especially with being new on TikTok. It's really clear. There's this stuff that you get known for doing, or just the way that you do things, or just something that kind of hits with a platform in a certain way. And then, so that's the stuff that you're kind of funneled into keep doing. And if you want to branch out and do other stuff, then you have to kind of well, you know, most people actually don't watch. So then why do it? So every once in a while I just do it because I want to, but. One second. Cannon. All right, he is here. I will be right back. All right, just wrapped it up. I'll put it right out here, and then we can cash out, and everything will be all good. Turned out nice, though. Yeah, right? I'm streaming, by the way, so this is all on YouTube. I just letting you know if you didn't want to be on or anything, but I'll pull it out for you. Seats goes back fuck. No.
DW Super Chatted $5, you know the drill.
Cash you out. Card.
So what was the total on that again?
So total 450 plus a $50 windshield strip, so 500 minus the deposit,
Right.
so we're at 460.
Yeah, I got another Honda I want you to do too, so I'll come make a final with that.
Oh, awesome.
Is the CRV about the same price then, or what?
Yep. Yep, it'll run the same price for everything. Yeah, I haven't done a charger in a minute here, but they look awesome.
Yeah, it looks like
They do turn out really nice. Push the card back, which means we have a receipt.
Devon Mistakes Super Chatted $4.99, vroom.
So that just kind of goes over most of it, kind of what to expect. But if you have tint before, then no worries there. Leave the windows up for like the next 3 days,
Yep.
and then no ammonia glass cleaners on the inside.
Okay. That's it?
That's it.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Oh, okay. You want me to email you the receipt then and everything?
No, just print it out, actually, it's a good idea.
Okay. It just takes a minute. wonder if we took a little bit too long. Nah, he was okay. Seemed like he had some stuff to do. People trying to set off the fog machine. Devin with the 5. Oh, there it is. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. Did he tape the switches? I did not. So there were a couple things. Wrapping up right at the end, it was just, I like to tape the switches, put up the mirror hanger and stuff like that. Some people, they're just, they have other things to do, which was kind of funny, like how this works, right? Like, you'll spend more time with somebody getting a $100 tint job than sometimes somebody getting a $500 tint job. It's just, they got other things to do. They trust your work. They trust what you did. And, we streamed the whole thing, and he's seen some of the videos too, so he knows it's on the channel, that's for sure. Where's my fog? I paid $5. I think I forgot to plug him in, honestly. We were setting up some lights. So it didn't get done. I'm sorry. You'll just have to come back. Yep, you'll have to come back next time. I'm sorry. It'll take like 10 minutes to start up. I'm really bad about that sometimes. I'm sorry. You know what's crazy is to actually leave that door wide open right now. Because it's actually nice. No, it's good. Like, weather right now, it's 71. I just tinted a charger. I'm good. I need this place to cool down a little bit. Temperature flipped real fast. But for like a day. Am I starting it up? No. No, I gotta take off here in a little bit. It's later in the day. Gotta get this class stuff set up too. So I gotta run, and you know how I used more packing tape on this one? I gotta get more tape. So let me make a little list here right now, and then I know. So carpet, shield, house wrap tape, Libman, Squeegees, heat guns. I hope I can find the Libman ones. It's always funny watching the chat trying to fog the customer. That's like, I don't know if that'll just go terribly one day. Because there's genuinely people that come in here, they get a job, and they have no idea that there's a channel. They just found it on Google, they liked the reviews, they called it up, and they learned about the stuff either after the fact or they never knew what happened. What up, Matt? We gained weight. Yo, dude, I'm just coming into the springtime right now. That's right. We gained weight over the wintertime. And I also have a kid. Do you think they would sue? You can sue over anything, right? I don't know. I don't think they would necessarily take it to court. But I don't think it's necessarily a great thing if they didn't already come in with an understanding of, oh, hey, there's fog machines right here that are going to spread. Like, who knows what's going to happen with people? So I just would like to not find out. If everybody was in on the gag or the joke or whatever, then no big deal. But that's the thing, is like, somebody comes in off of the street, they're coming in for a tint job, and then if they have no idea, then I'm like, yeah, I like to stream your car. And as far as it's like, oh, okay, whatever, he does some silly things on YouTube. Like, I don't know. My wife wants to know about the chocolate bunnies. They're sitting right here. Collecting dust. I also have a kid with the baby weight gains from birth. I thought that was your wife's part. No, as a dad, you eat too. It's more the winter part. I don't know why I blame my kid. I can just blame a lot of things, right? It's my kid's fault. Menards. I don't think they had them last time I went to Menards, but I like Menards. Maybe we'll go there instead. So I went to Menards for the heat guns, and they were actually more expensive there than like Home Depot and Lowe's, which is usually pretty abnormal. But, oh, get this shit. I went to Walmart yesterday because somebody in chat told me they got them for $20 at their Walmart, and they're cheaper in Walmart than online. Those bitches are $35 at my Walmart. The little Wagner ones. Unbelievable. That's as much as a Porter cable. Acting like you did the hard part of having a kid. No. No, but taking care of the kid, that's a lot of work still, too. That's a lot of work for everybody. He was here today, though. And for the most part, he's pretty good. He runs around here, and then he like looks down and, ooh, what's that? I want to pick it up and eat it. Or, ooh, he loves wheels. He absolutely loves wheels. So, like, we had the Blazer parked in here, and then just anything else, like the dirty wheeled carts or these stools and stuff, he's, like, poking at the wheels and spinning things around and stuff like that. And it's just like, oh, yeah, hands are getting super dirty. I got my Wagner at Ace Hardware for $27. Yeah, Home Depot has those for about that price, too. I was going to go buy, like, 6 of them, and then I'm, like, because I'm expecting them to be anywhere from, like, $22 to, like, $25. And then it's just like, oh, shit, these are actually expensive now for a little Wagner heat gun. Bummer. $32. Good God. Did you ever watch the video of the gold tint being installed inside a pool? No. No, I don't think so. What's the video title? No. Are they really? They're that cheap? Off of Lexin's site? That would actually be... Can you... They're crazy. They're like a fusion. They actually sell like good tools and stuff. Legitimate good resource for tools and stuff. $21.95. What if I only buy that because that is the cheapest place that I can get them from? Buy 27 more and get free shipping. Sweet. How about I get like... Oh, I like that. I like their free shipping bar. I have one that is not as nice as that. Oh, that's so cool. Here, let me show you guys. Where's my window so I know I'm on the right thing? Look at this. When you click up one, then the little thing goes up, and then it's like, cha-ching! Oh, you got free shipping. Ooh. I got one of those too. I do that for $50. So when you like add this, right? Then you have a little thing that pops up here. But I don't like this one as much. But this was the best one that I could find. Hey, if they're a good resource for like tools and like heat guns, because that's at, like, look at Home Depot. Home Depot. You know what's really annoying is searching a company's website and then getting an ad to go to their website, and then so you don't get to the front page, you get to like some weird landing page, and it's just like, I just want to get to your website. I don't need all this other garbage. That's especially annoying with login pages. Wagner. Wow, there's actually, no joke, a lot of things. Look, see, they're $26. There you go. So you buy them for like 22, you get free shipping, and then you resell them for 27. That's right. That's the American way. Heat guns are one of those things that most tool distributors actually don't get a great deal on, and will sometimes, like, they'll have them as, like, you know, if you really want them, but they'll tell you they're not the best resource for them. I sent the video to you. You know what's funny? At this point, we could have turned on the fog machines. I like doing that charger. I miss those. They used to be a big pain. Whoa, he looks so little. Here, you want to see my chunky boy? He's got such a chubby face here. Look at that boy. Aww. All right, let me find. Yeah, I got it. I got the link for it. I was going there. What the heck is this? We might have to save this for another day, but I'm curious. 500,000 views. Oh my goodness. Oh, so this is that same Polish guy, huh?
Siemaneczko, dzisiaj proszę was Dubaj styl, część druga.
What other YouTubers do you watch?
Oklejamy sobie szyby złotą folią. Elegancko. Majster wyszkolony. Tyle razy już.
Here, this will show you what pops up here.
Robił,
So
że
we have a
to
lot
będzie
of kid
moment.
stuff for my son. Oh, look, it's
Dubaj
Patrick's
styl,
video. I was actually
kurwa.
watching this.
Folia już.
It's gonna be an interesting conversation here.
Dobrze jest.
He put out a podcast one.
Nie wiem, czy mi nie zabraknie, ale...
Hang on. Van Neistat. Oh, they actually do another Van Neistat video. This was a pretty cool conversation. They talked to Casey Neistat's brother. I don't really watch much of Colin and Samir, but they have some interesting interviews. I watch a bunch of tech stuff, and then there's some random like streamer stuff in here too. MAC address is pretty good. That's by Linus Tech Tips channel. So I really watch a lot of like Linus Tech Tips every day, or at least most days. And then whatever YouTube decides to feed me. Like there was some Howard Stern interviews that were popping up, but they're only clips. But this is it. Philly D, I really don't watch these, but they always pop up. I used to watch a lot of Philly D. I'm still subscribed. Is he still at 6 million subscribers? This dude, I feel so bad. He has been perpetually at 6 million something subscribers for like the past 5 years, easily. He just can't get over this hump because he's too polarizing. And look, it's me. My son loves the Moana music, though, so we play Moana for him literally every day. But they need more songs. But yeah, this is like, I don't know. This always changes a lot. Is this like infinite scrolling? Oh, it is. I haven't, like, there hasn't been a ton of great stuff for me to watch on YouTube, honestly. I kind of bounce back and forth between, like, learning something I need to learn for, like, streaming or whatever. Like, the streaming channels are always interesting. Safety Third podcast is pretty funny, too. It's always interesting to hear, like, these people talk. Do you pay for premium? Oh, absolutely. It's amazing. It's 100% worth all of the money and more. If you watch YouTube videos, then you just get to click on stuff and never have ads. So when people ask you about certain things, you're just like, what? I don't get ads. So yeah, like this. Like it just loads.
Majster se poradzi.
It's so
Dobra,
fast,
zaczynamy
too.
od szybek elegancko.
It saves a bunch of time.
Przejdźmy
And that's
na tyły.
it for me. Is how much time is it going to save you? Oh, this is a half-an-hour video.
Kurwa,
I'm
tu
probably
przewody
gonna have to watch this one.
poprzestrzeliwałem.
I got other stuff. I
Weź to odłącz.
gotta set up for class and stuff. Oh, this is like the gold film that I installed, right?
Tutaj trzeba obciąć.
Oh, he took the window out of the car, and he's just gonna do it on the ground. Oh, this guy is for sure
Oby nie za
clowning.
krótko.
Because, like, if you were serious about this, you'd take it inside and put it on a table at least. Like, you're not just gonna drop it on the grass and try and tint it.
Powiem wam. Zaraz wam pokażę. O kurwa, tutaj to nie rusz.
He's by his swimming pool now. You know, I've really thought, like, I've wanted to try tinting a window inside of, like, a tub of water.
O,
But, like, it would already be cut,
tutaj
shrunk,
się
ready
nie da
to
już tego
go.
zrobić.
And then you, like, drop it in a perfectly
Temperaturowo.
clean water environment with soapy water, and then you just squeegee it out, right? That'll turn out great.
Zaraz będzie zjebane.
Oh, yeah, like that.
Dobrze,
No
naprostować.
shit. That's smart. I wanted to do that. You just needs to be soapy, though.
Człowiek. Żeby tak każdy kurwa robił.
Okay, that's right about here.
To tak nie może
This
być.
is probably his smartest idea that he's had, though. It's just not soapy. So the problem is,
Kurwa, twoje.
this is what happens when you don't put any soap in your bottle. It's just, you need soap
Żeby tak każdy kurwa robił.
so the film can slide around a little bit and you can evenly press it all out, but you can sweep all the water out of it. It's just getting it in place is going to be damn near
Co to się
impossible.
popierdoliło tutaj? O,
It's pretty great.
dobrze, naprostowałeś.
But look at that.
elegancko.
I bet you if you got some clean water, it'd turn out clean. Unfortunately, you see all this garbage right in here, so you got a lot of floaties in there.
Kurwa, zagięła się, niemożliwe. Tu na te brudy żeś przykleił.
Pretty amazing. The problem is the
Dobrze jest,
shrinking.
powiem wam.
Yep, he smoothed all
Zaraz
this
wam
out.
pokażę. O kurwa, tutaj to nie rusz.
What if I don't? Why do I have to shrink windows? What if I don't shrink a window?
Dawaj tutaj.
That
Kurwa, twoja
happens.
mać. O,
Tint just,
tutaj się nie da już tego zrobić.
it's not like vinyl. You can't
To
just
jest
stretch it. It wants to, it's very
temperaturowo.
rigid and crinkly.
Zaraz będzie zjebane.
I do miss ads because I found a lot of cool things from ads. That's kind of amazing.
Suszarki się obejdzie. Ciągnij dobrze.
If ads get to the point where they're so good that it's just things that you're like, oh shit, I need that in my life, then yeah, by all means. But usually, like,
Temperaturowo.
I'd see them all the time for like all this dumb stuff, like
Temperaturowo. Zaraz robimy.
sports gambling was, you know, whenever things get like a huge marketing budget, then you just see like a ton of it,
Robi elegancko.
and it's like cereal and sports betting, and it's just like
Grałeś pan?
cleaning products. It's never stuff that I was interested in.
Kurwa, nie działa to? To nie jest kurczliwa? I co jest grane? Ja cię zaraz robię tutaj.
I paid for Twitch Turbo.
Co to się dzieje?
You can see all the wrinkles in that one.
Kurwa, nie działa
It's
suszarka.
kind of messed up.
O,
This is
kurczę
a
się.
good one though.
Człowiek. Se w dupę
The,
wsadź tą suszarkę, kurwa. Coś tak ładnie masz. Ładnie, człowieku, porysowałeś wszystko.
An assload of screenshots from ads.
Chuj z tym, tam już się pierdolił, kurwa. Zwykle zrobisz ładnie, to ci się popsuje. Dawaj.
But yeah, I just always got that same dumb knife. Oh.
Majster spróbuje taką opalaryczką. Zobaczymy, może będzie szło. O, widziałeś? A to żeś kurwa
The
pogiął.
felt from your squeegee looks like
A
your
to
website
idzie
is
takim
cheapest to
czymś.
ship. Yeah, I actually have like economy shipping, so I do first class
przypaliłeś już.
packages for small items. So
Skurczyła
that's
się,
about like
skurczyła.
$5.
Dawaj tu.
And then free shipping over 50. And it still costs me like
Idiota.
it still costs me like $8 to $9. That's what I pay in shipping to send it out. Oh my god, those scratches.
Delikatnie, bo przypalisz. Cicho, cicho, cicho.
Go the other way, you dummy.
Ej,
Nah, it's
dobrze
wrecked
jest.
anyways. What happens when I apply
Bardzo
too much heat
zmieniło.
to any particular spot?
No już, to już nie da, no. Zjebało się i tyle. Już nic tu nie poradzimy na to.
I like that he's making like an all gold car though,
Dobrze jest, człowiek.
because
Żebyś tak wcześniej
that's
zrobił.
kind of an amazing YouTube thing. Like I'm just gonna do everything, including the windows, the headlights, the wheels, like and
Teraz
like
jeszcze
I don't know how to do
majster
any of
ogarnie
this, but that's gonna be what
po
we're doing.
krawędziach, żeby przejechać, żeby nam się tutaj
That's kind of amazing.
nie zadzierało.
Oh, and he's just cutting it like that along the top.
Tutaj to
Yep,
chuj
that's the
tam
way
tak
to do
ogarnie.
it. Hang on. Move this over here so
Teraz
I can read
nie
some of
patrzcie na to, zobaczycie efekt końcowy.
this. Is your peel board chameleon tint?
oceniać
Yeah, I looked up. It was an iridescent film off
Już tu
of
coś nie
Amazon.
pasuje ci, człowieku. Co to kurwa, nie pasuje na śrubę.
Dubai style. I can appreciate
Tak,
this a lot actually,
tu tak,
because this is
wysuwanie.
like. This is like he got 500,000 views on it. It's just an utter disaster. People are gonna share it and go like, look at what a clown this is. But also there's this weird curiosity like, yeah, I want to see a car that's done all in gold. That's ridiculous. That's what
Kurwa, myślałem,
YouTube's
że
there
pękła
for.
szyba.
Not this professional, this is how to tint, let me show you this, that, these are the best films to use, but no. What YouTube really wants is a fucking gold car. Ew, you see the green? So the glass, this is an unfortunate
jest.
thing about chameleon films anyways. The glass really shows its color against a
Widziałeś?
colored background, so the glass looks really, really
to jest?
green. The film is perfectly gold, but his
to
glass,
zgubi, jaka
like
brudna
auto
szyba.
glass, has a little bit of green to it, so it'll make it look really discolored.
O mój Boże. Normalnie chlor pod
Can you link
spodem
the
chyba
first
jest.
video of his
Dobrze
review?
jest, tam gadasz głupoty. Panie, wyślij mi tego robota. Dobra. Panie Stasiu, weź to pan montuj.
Oh, I thought it'd pop up.
Tego nie wsadziłem.
I forgot what I called it.
Jak to,
What did I call it?
Kurwa.
I gotta go back.
Gdzie to było w ogóle?
Back. Can you
Tak.
just search? Yeah, there it is.
Siły. No to teraz. No kurwa.
I forgot what I titled it though.
Niedobrze. Zrobiłeś dobrze. Teraz idzie dopiero gumka. O mój Boże, pierwsza szyba dopiero.
What's your website?
Już zjebane.
MyTintStuff.com.
Kurwa, coś to wyciągnął.
This one.
Pod tą
I have a lot of the
Kurwa,
Detroit Tint
nie
Studio
mogło się
tools that you
zjebać
see
na samym
here. So
dole,
like the
tylko
special
samej
edition
góry się
triages,
zjebało,
these
no.
Squeegees, all this stuff. Like the Glass Aid
to
stuff is
jesteś,
at other
kurwa,
distributors now, including the clay bars. But like the green shanks,
Ty
the
jakiś,
triages, the
kurwa, chuj
squeegees. Like
silikonu
I've
nalewał,
added
nie
some
wciśniesz
stuff
tego.
and the felt cards.
No nie
I always
wciśniesz,
forget
bo
about the felt cards.
skurwysyn.
Just some stuff that is
Silikonasz
like
jakiś
more
się trafił,
studio
kurwa.
merch, but also
O, to
still
się
really good.
śmieją. Dobra jest, dawaj tu wygłuszę.
It helps support the stuff here. Ew, you can kind of see through it.
Tutaj to nawet nie muszę zdejmować boczka, tylko sobie go odpiąłem.
I was really surprised about chameleon film,
Elegancko.
or at least the stuff that somebody brought me that we did on
Mieszmy
stream. It
sobie,
actually was
wytniemy
fairly
elegancko.
user friendly to work with, but it faded within 6 months. See, like
Tak.
this looks good. Like if you want a
Może
gold
bliżej
film,
tak.
it looks
To
good.
jest dotąd. Że tak powiem,
But this stuff doesn't
pierdzieli.
really last. Oh, now he's got soapy water. You just can't seem to figure this part out. Like, peeling the film and then getting it to like lay down all without like a tremendous amount of problems. It's mostly wind. That was actually not that bad.
Rakierkuj pan ładnie.
And now you're gonna see a world of difference with the soapy water, right? Like you're not gonna see near that crinkling, especially now because he's also in the shade. But he didn't shrink it, so he's got like the
Skąd ten
same
piach?
forming
Skąd?
issues, right? Some of it will, like a good amount of it will squeegee out, and he may have a handful of fingers in it,
Kurwa,
but
środka
it'll
nic nie
largely be
widać.
much better than the pool.
Co to się zrobiło?
I'm proud of him. He's made some progress. See, at this point, he's just spray it a little bit more.
Tutaj też w ogóle kamień wpierdolony jakiś wielki.
Ew!
Kurwa, skąd? Co to się
Do
zrobiło?
you see that? He like flicked out like a... I don't know if it was a bug or a leaf or something, but watch. He's like, oh, there's something here. There's like a chunk.
Tutaj też w ogóle kamień
Just-
wpierdolony jakiś
Yep,
wielki.
just get that chunk out of there.
Kurwa, skąd to się pobrało?
I live in Oklahoma, but I have
Boże,
friends that
jak
live
to
in
będzie
Warren. I may have to
wyglądało.
plan a trip and visit and get my car tinted by yours truly.
Ej, ale coraz lepiej
That'd be
idzie.
quite the trip. Yeah,
Let's
Warren's
go.
actually not far away at all.
Jeszcze potłucz na koniec. Rychowo. Co jest? Co to, jak to robią, że tu
We
kurwa...
can do it. We can
co to
definitely
ma
do it.
być? Ja cię pierdolę.
So he has a couple areas
Kamienie,
towards the
kurwa,
edges that he
po-
kind of like creased and didn't lay down properly, but he's
trzymaj, bo
kind
tu
of
trzeba
over it at
włożyć
this
te-
point. He's having a much
bojostwo
easier time.
tutaj.
See, if you
Jest
take the
trzeba
window out of
włożyć.
the car, or if you remove the seal, you have a much easier time tinting the window.
O kurwa. O Jezu. Potłuczysz pan szybę.
But it's still not exactly
Kurwa.
like. Then you got to put the door panel and everything back on.
Batata.
So then he goes through it. Does he never tint in the same spot twice?
Jesteś coraz lepszy mechanizm. Ale żeś pan to jeszcze... Ile folii zostało?
Where's this one?
Jakoś tak miało być.
Because, like, where's this one now? But he's got this technique here where he sprays it, then he puts the film on, and then peels out underneath it. Oh, it's short.
Kurwa. Ja
He
pierdolę.
ran out of film for the last door, so it's just as good as he can. There's a big chunk missing,
Do psikania.
so it's only going to be half tinted.
Wody. Tu jak połączył, idiota. A i oczywiście tu mi się
Oh, did he
zadarło
piece it together? I think he found another piece.
podczas zamykania i
kinda
białuś
awesome.
jakiegoś napierdol.
Just
Niedobrze.
reinstalling the weather
Panie
strip
Sebastianie, no myśl pan coś.
affect the tinted window. Oh no, he's gonna spray it. Oh, that's real
Pokaż no
special.
pan. Kurwa, co to?
That
Całkiem inny ten.
turned out better than his tint did.
Całkiem inny kolor. Dobrze jest.
No, he uses
Dubai
gold.
styl pakiet mini.
He's using gold paint on that.
Luksus.
No, putting the weather strip back in is totally
Kurwa, to w
fine.
ogóle
You just
chromu
want to
nie
make sure the
przypomina.
edges are stuck down and kind of
Jakbym
dried
jakiś
out a little bit, or you
kremowym
might
tym
peel it back
pomalował.
up. That's all.
Dobrze jest. Złoty, złoty.
But yeah, you can definitely put it back on.
Proszę bardzo.
Look at that. That turned out far better
Luksus
than his
jest.
gold ass window tint there,
Mały ten.
unfortunately.
Podoba mi się to.
Perfecttools.pl. So he's got a store. Nice. That's funny. What's up, DC? How you doing? My computer says it's 4 o'clock. It's definitely 5 o'clock. I don't know why. I thought it did the time change, but my computer still did not do a time change. Smart. That was gold. It was one of those things that I just I couldn't look away from it. I was like, I gotta watch this later, and I still wanted to watch it in more detail, but we couldn't stop watching it. Alrighty, I gotta shout out some supers, and then I gotta take off here. So what's today? This is where, oh my God. I gotta go back through my... There it is. Stream Elements always asks me to like log in every
DC
time.
Customs and
remembers
Detailing
it.
super chatted $2.
Super
No,
chat.
I'm late, Master Matt.
DC with the 2. Oh no, I'm late, Master Man. Yeah, you are. But this was the later stream in the day. Thank you for the 2. I appreciate it. So with that, actually, see, and it says your super chat was 59 minutes ago. That's super weird. So I gotta change the clock on my computer. All right. DC Customs, thank you for the 2. Devin, so everybody that super chatted, Devin, DW, Daniel Reyna, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it, as always. There's another video of a guy spray tinting his windows. Yeah, I've seen some of them. They've been pretty great. And that's what YouTube really needs. They need people to take those bold moves to like, what if we do this? That's what's so great about it. When's your next car? Tomorrow. I don't know if I'm streaming it though, because tomorrow's a little bit of a weird day. There was somebody that was supposed to leave a deposit for 12 o'clock. There's an older gentleman that hasn't left a deposit, but I still think he might walk in. Tomorrow's the 18th. I forget. Oh, I know what's going on. I got somebody that's dropping off a car before open. And then I got somebody else coming in for 2 doors at 12, I think. It's one of those where he didn't leave a deposit, but he might show up anyways and not realize that he forgot to leave a deposit. I have no idea, but it sounded like he was coming in. So I have I think it's a full Audi A5, S5, something Audi. And then I've got a Camaro on Saturday. So I figured I'd be back on Saturday. But I have some stuff lined up, and I also have to get this kind of stuff done, so I don't know. We may be back. Keep your notifications on. I'm not positive, but if we are, we are. And I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow or Saturday. Y'all have a good one. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate the super chats and everything. And looking forward to the class next week. So, boom. Good stuff. Alrighty. Bye.